Hey everybody, what's going on? KSA Kris here, the Real Estate Blitz, and today we're going to be talking about why don't people answer your calls? Why won't people return your calls? This is something that comes up all the time here, and it's funny because I think we, as real estate agents, we want to believe what we want to believe, or what we want to believe, what we hear from other real estate agents, and we don't take a step back to think about how we feel and how we react in life to other salespeople, right? And I always joke about the initial gut reaction of no. I called and they just said no and hung up. You do it too. The odds are good that you do it too. You hear somebody, depending on how they come across immediately, hi, I'm looking to speak with the owner of the house. No. Well, if they're saying the immediate gut reaction no, it's probably not them. It's probably you. And how you're actually vocalizing, because they can't physically see you, your face, or your body language. You're not vocalizing what you should be saying to begin with. You're creating that no, right? So when we talk about why people don't answer your calls or don't call you back, I feel it's the same thing. You got to take a step back and think about this. So example, recently I just bought a truck. My wife wanted a truck. She was very specific on the truck that she wanted. And we started, so it's sales. How did we start looking for a truck? Jumped online. We didn't, I think this is where a lot of brokerages are failing. We didn't drive down Main Street and go to the local, which they are. There's two local car dealerships here, and they're, a small town car dealership. That wasn't the first place we went. We absolutely didn't do that. We jumped online. We knew we were going to find our deals and we're going to get information, and we wanted to educate ourselves because that's the whole point of the internet. It educates people. They're smarter now. So if you're believing in, brick and mortar, they'll just come over because we're this. That's not true. They got to find you. You got to be able to be exposed. We started looking for a truck, and there's different ways you could put in information. So lead captures, which we know as real estate agents, right? Or you'll call, or they'll call you, or you basically you're going to reach out to somebody, or they reach out to you by text message. And going through this experience was really cool because after the fact I realized it was a hell of a learning experience for me and what we're doing and what I do personally. People that sent me text messages immediately to say, hey, thanks for checking out X, when would you like to come see it, or can I answer any questions? Like, I actually replied to them. I looked at it, I connected with them, and I replied to them. I didn't reply to all their text messages because they were hammering me so much, they were relentless, but I'll get to that. The people that called me, I probably didn't answer because it came from a phone number I didn't recognize, but I eventually listened to the voicemail. Listen to me, okay? If I'm telling you everything that we all, real estate agents, we experience. So I eventually listen to it, I hear the voicemail, and I think about calling them, but the odds are good. If they didn't reach out to me right while I was in it, I had already found a couple other trucks I really liked. So I was then telling them, no, I'm not interested, but then they were still being a little bit relentless with certain things. I got to call that back. I just got a phone call. It's a new listing. So the experience that I had with that is that the different ways that people were trying to engage with me, how I reacted to it, and I think that's important. But then came the big one, what we're talking about today. Why don't people call you back, or why do they black hole you, right? And for the people that are relentless, they realize a lot of those black hole people end up coming back and buying or selling through you. So let me tell you what happened to me. So we went and looked at a couple trucks, physically went and looked at a couple trucks, and we just, we didn't want to make a decision. We were kind of talking through it. This is what we want, this is what we not want. And then we had about 4 different people just relentlessly following up with us. And I got tired of telling them, not right now, we're not interested, we're still looking. And they just weren't listening. So we just didn't reply to them. It wasn't that we weren't going to buy it. And this is where a lot of real estate agents get lost. They think, well, if I've got black hold, well, I'm not going to call them anymore because they're not going to buy. They're not buying. They're not serious. That's not true at all. At all. What I ended up doing is it took us about 2 weeks. And there was one guy that was really, he was just really polite. He was very consistent, about my Audi the same way. Very consistent, very polite, just following up any questions. Can I help you find a different one? You just let me know. I'm here to help. And he just kept reaching out. I didn't answer him. I didn't reply to him because we hadn't committed to, yes, we're absolutely doing this, but we knew we were going to buy a truck. We just didn't know when or how, if we wanted to pay cash, because we ended up paying cash for it, or if we wanted to finance it. We want to talk to our tax guy. There was a lot of things that we were going through, and I just didn't want to deal with every freaking day talking to these people. So when are you looking at? When could I call you back? When do you want to get down here? I didn't want to deal with any of that, so I just didn't. But when we said yes, guess who I called? The guy that was really cool and polite, and he just stayed. He was top of mind. He never left. I still stay in touch with him. He was top of mind. He kept reaching out. He was real polite, very professional. Came from a place of value. And then when I was ready, I reached out to him. Said, "Hey, do me a favor. Do you still have the truck?" He says, "Yes." "Do me a favor. Get it washed, fill it up, and park it out front. We're on our way. Are you there right now?" He says, "No, I'm not." "Can you be there?" He says, "Yes, I can. Because I know you work on commission. I don't want to work with anybody else. I want to work with you. I want to make sure you get paid. Okay? Fill it up, wash it for me. We're showing up. We're on our way. It was a 2-hour drive. We're driving down, and we're going to be buying the truck today." He says, "Fantastic. Are you looking for finance?" He says, "No, we're going to be paying in cash." He says, "Wonderful. See you in 2 hours. I will reach out to you just to make sure you're safe and you're going to be here on time." So it was really cool. We went down there. The truck was fueled up. It was washed. We walked in. The paperwork was ready and prepared. Everything was done. We went in and out. As much as you can with a car, in and out, and then had a new truck. So this is what I would say. If you're a real estate agent, and I've heard it over and over and over, and you get pissy, like crybaby pee pants, because, well, they aren't calling me back. They black-holed me, those assholes. I'm not calling them back. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Okay? You're just because somebody, and I'm talking about a truck. I think our truck was $40,000. We paid $40,000 cash for it, right? That's just $40,000. It's a lot of money, but it's still just $40,000. You're talking about asking somebody to commit to $100, $200, $500, $700, $1 million. That's a commitment. That's a commitment. You're asking them to make that commitment, and you're getting pissy because they didn't make the commitment the moment. Well, you don't want to buy today? You don't want to buy today? Well, you know what? You're not worth my time. I'm not going to follow up with you politely, professionally, and come from a place of value and empathy and caring. That makes you a brick, right? They're going to buy with somebody. It may be a month from now, maybe 3 months from now. I got an agent right now. She got two listings this week, and she's been following up both of them for like 8-10 months. Just, hey, what's going on? Just hitting you up by email, by text, by phone, coming from a place of value, sending them information, letting them know what the market's doing, how it's adjusting, sending out some video content just every now and again to educate them. And then they're like, hey, because that's the thing. Somebody's going to make the decision that you're their person anyways. They know they're going to go through you, especially if you stay in touch with them. They just aren't ready yet. Maybe you should have some patience and understanding that people don't work on your timeline just because you want them to. Cut it out. Follow up. Fortune's in the follow-up. You should be following up with 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 times. Whatever it's going to take, you keep following up with them. Unless they tell you to fuck off, they unsubscribe, or they end up buying with somebody else. If they end up buying with somebody else, that's your fault. You did something wrong. If they unsubscribe, that's your fault. You did something wrong. If they tell you to fuck off, the odds are good there's something wrong with them, because that's just me, right? But it's possible that you had some hand in that as well. So again, be professional, be polite, add value, educate people, and just be there for them. And make sure you're staying top of mind. And I think that's where a lot of real estate agents go wrong. They're thinking about the payday. They're thinking about the cash return. Money is the byproduct. Getting paid is the byproduct of you genuinely wanting to help people and genuinely wanting to educate people and genuinely want to get them what they're looking for in their life in order to start the next chapter. Okay? Not your paycheck. They don't care about your paycheck. I did a video that's going to be getting posted up, and it was talking about the 6% commission. They don't care about your paycheck. Nobody cares about you, right? Not until they care about you because you cared about them. You got to care first. That's what creates a true relationship. And I think I was watching this really cool video, and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about my wife the other day, and I was watching this stuff, and I always try to educate myself to be a better husband and a better father. And it was like, the one thing that'll make relationships fall apart is the fact that it's me. Instead of sitting there and saying, what can I do? You. I'm going to come from a place of always wanting to serve and serve you. And then I see the K Jewelers commercial or whatever it was, and it's they're saying everything of what love is, and I'm like, well, everything you just said is like 100% crappy and selfish. If you, and you know, I don't want to get religious, but depending on what you believe in, if you read the Bible, everything that they say love is in there, it starts talking about all the things that you give to the other person in the relationship. And that's how I think real estate agents should be viewing working with a buyer or a seller. What are you giving? You give first. You give first. And if you do, they will call you. They'll call you back and you're going to get more deals. So that's all I got today. Appreciate it. Do me a favor, like, share, comment. I always love getting the comments. Love it when people share because, you know, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. We were just talking about this. If you think a lot of the stuff that you're watching as I make it is helpful, you know, share it with other people. Help them too. And that's the whole point of why I'm doing this. Again, I'm not a guru. I'm not a coach. I'm not a salesman selling products to a bunch of agents. I'm just some guy that cares, that wants to help because I want to help change the industry. And I think it's going to start by real estate agents helping other real estate agents be professional and successful. So I'm trying to do my part. So do me a favor, share. Check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.